to begin with my background, I'm originally from Afghanistan. I was born in Afghanistan in 1990s. Um, I have we moved to Idaho in June 2008 as a refugee from Moscow, Russia. We were refugees in Russia due to war. We moved to Boise, Idaho, with my family, my mom, single mom, my brother, and two sisters. So a family of five in June 2008. Um, uh, just one thing to note, I personally believe we are blessed to have come to Idaho and specifically to Boise. It is a beautiful and a great place to be, and I have moved to other states for work and to visit families and relatives, but I've always come back to Boise, and I would not replace Boise and Idaho for anywhere else. To continue back on my story, when we came in as a refugee in 2008, it was one of the worst time economically, but immediately we started, me and my brothers, we started going to CWI to get our college, started in our college, and my two sisters started with their junior high and high school. I graduated in 2014 with bachelor's degree in civil engineering, and immediately got a job with federal government, and afterwards within the private sector. My two sisters, they both graduated with degrees in computer science, and they are working right now for top 500 companies in the United States. But my other brother, he is a scientist. He currently works in California on one of the pharma companies to develop on pharmaceutical to develop drugs based on the research that he does. It has been a very solid and very great experience with the support when we came as a refugee in 2008 that we received from the Idaho community, from the Boise community, specifically from the resettlement agencies. They had the structure and the backbone to be able to guide us and help us with the basic needs. For example, how to get enrolled in school, how to get enrolled in university, how to get good English classes. For example, for my mother, to learn English and so on. There were resources, and we are immensely thankful to them to all those volunteers who helped my family. Now, to come back a little bit about how this sudden withdrawal impacted my life and the lives of my siblings and the lives of many Afghan allies in Afghanistan. I have family members that worked with the United States military, with the United States or European non-profit organizations, and I also had family members who worked for the previous government in the previous government military. They were soldiers, and also they worked in the NDS, which is the National Directorate of Security. And also I have friends who are part of the society as far as students, specifically girls and women that have been immensely impacted, and they have their hopes and lives and wishes and goals have been shattered. One great example that I can provide is I had a friend who was pursuing her medical degree in Afghanistan, and she was also the captain of the cycling team in Afghanistan, women's cycling team. And she had her teammates, about 20 or so, that they were, the day before the Taliban took over Kabul, they were practicing and they were cycling, they were going to university, studying, preparing for their exams. The next day, they cannot do that. So that's just the next day they cannot go to school. The next day they cannot even dare to get out of the house. So that's how this is how impactful it has been for people in people's life. it has immensely impacted. Coming back to my relatives who are commandos in the Afghan National Army, who fought the Taliban and the terrorists and the ISIS and all those people. At the moment, they are being searched for. They are hiding. They cannot get out of their houses. They're not, in fact, they're not even living in their houses because they know where they live. So they're scattered all over city, all over Afghanistan. Their lives are in danger. For them at the moment, it's about survival, nothing else. They are just trying to survive. And this is true for majority of our SIVs, or the way we call it, basically those who were translators, interpreters with Afghan, with American, with US military, and who also were involved in somehow or shape or form with anything related to United States, whether they were non-governmental organizations and private companies that they worked for Americans before. That is the same true for those people. Their lives are in danger, and sooner or later they will be seeked out. They will be captured, prosecuted, executed, and so on. I think one of to me as an American, I became citizen in 2013. I have when I started working for the federal government, I took the oath to protect the Constitution of the United States and serve this country. And one thing that matters to me, that as an American, it is very important that we keep our promise. When we make a promise, we keep our promise to the people. It is very important for our country in a long term. It is one of the core fundamentals of this nation, or that we should uphold our promise. This country was built based on people coming and looking for freedom total, for whether it's freedom of religious, freedom of speech, freedom of association, or anything you may call it. I believe that our Afghan allies now need that support from us, that we should uphold our promise and we should welcome them with open arms. Those are the people who have literally risked their lives, the lives of their families, their kids, for our mission, for our goals, whatever they were in Afghanistan. We need to not have the intention to somehow bar them from coming in. And I have full faith in our system, in our government, that they will do as Julian mentioned, they will take the right measures to process and vet all eligible individuals who are eligible to come to this country. This country is as dear to me as Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is as dear to me as United States. So I do not differentiate between them. To come back a little bit, to continue a little bit on the part of what are some of the long-term impact. There are some concerns, as I've been reading on the news and media, that, and this has been going on for a while and it's never ending, but is concerns that somehow we are bringing these Afghan allies are coming into the United States. Somehow they will have some economic, they would somehow be some economic, have some economic burden in our economy. I would like to give an example. So when we came in 2008 as a refugee, my family, we received 6 months of rent. That was $650 per month. And the third month, we moved in late June, beginning of July. In September, I got a job in Micron as a fab operator. And afterwards, I worked and I also went to college, and same goes for my brother and the siblings. So we all got our professional degrees 2-3 years afterwards. During when, let's put the 6 months, the first 6 months aside, but post 6 months, we all were contributing back to the economy directly by paying taxes. And at the moment, our family, just individually, we pay each year over $100,000 in taxes back to our state and to our federal. So if you compare the proportion of the benefits we received from the federal government to compare to amount of taxes that we have been paying since then or contributing back to economy. Sorry, I'm an engineer, so I think in that manner. And so we did not even receive a quarter of what how much we pay in taxes in a single year from the federal government. So I would like everybody to understand that these kids or these families that are coming to United States or to Idaho or in Boise specifically, they are going to be they will turn into a backbone, a fabric of our society. They will be contributing to our society in economically. They will be contributing to our society in any shape or manner that you and I are contributing right now. They will be a useful member of our society. We do need people to come to this country because this country do need people who align with our values and who are going to be beneficial for our long term. I think one more thing to kind of emphasize on our promise. Our U.S. Master Sergeant Holmes can probably provide more information on what was his experience, but those people who fought for us or with us in Afghanistan, we give them hope, and they were hoping that they are not going to be left alone in the manner we left them alone. For 20 years, they fought with us, they believed in us, and the next day we abandoned them. Now I do understand that at one point we had to leave Afghanistan, but the way we did it, it was not fair to anybody. It's not fair to me as an American or to us as an American. It's not fair to them. I believe we should work with our government, with our leaders, to hopefully evacuate and bring more of those people who believed in us and who sacrificed everything for us.